Hey there, Heather. Hello there. It's Jeff Cutter Diamond welcoming you to another Cutter live stream. This is in tribute to my getting 275 subscribers. I know it seems like it's awkward because, it's like 275 is not really a major number. What about 300? Well, the fact of the matter is that, 300 is a good number, but with the way I am with getting subscribers and all that, it takes a while for every like 5 or 10. So logically, I just figured 275 would be a good one. Now, of course, the title of the stream is to talk about sports trivia and my health. Well, I'll get to the sports trivia later. But first and foremost, that person's gone. Was that a robot? The simple fact is that, everyone knows Cutter Historical, me with 6,000 plus videos, spanning lots of playlists and all that. But one thing I have not actually come clean about, and in a way, I do want to talk to my YouTube audience, like my YouTube subscribers, my 275 plus subscribers that, subscribe maybe because of PC gaming, like my baseball PC gaming, like basketball, football, hockey, my Worms, or even PlayStation 5 stuff, or well, PS3, PS2 stuff from the past, or Degrassi stuff I've done periodically past 4 years. So, um, health wise, I seem to be fine, but there have been times in which I wake up in the morning like I gotta wake up at 6 in the morning to go to work. To start going to work, and then all of a sudden, I just don't feel like staying staying up and all that. And it's like, well, you have to. You're working. It's a work day. You got to get up. You got to get yourself going. Get your food. Get your stuff together. Get everything together, man. But the fact of the matter is that, I've had that problem, and there have been days in which, I don't warm up quickly with stuff. Like in the morning, I feel okay and all that, but in the afternoon, after in the evening, I feel much better and much more active and all that. But feels like some kind of weirdness. And sleeping has not been the best for me recently. Like there have been times that I go to bed like at 10:30, and then all of a sudden by 3 I wake up, look on my alarm clock, I'm like, okay, I gotta sleep for a few hours. And then there have been days that have been that I don't even like go through the 2 hours consecutively. Like it'll be like only 30 minutes, and then I'll start waking up again, and then 10, 15, and then I'm trying to capture my sleep again, but not that's not really the best thing. But the simple fact is that, you know, issues. Yesterday, I had a doctor's appointment. So I went to my doctor. I told him all this stuff. I told him about what I could have, what's slowing me down, and the fact that at work I feel slowed down and I feel like I'm not working to my full potential. But the fact of the matter is that, like I've lost a substantial amount of weight. I haven't been this skinny for years, but now I'm thinking, am I losing weight too fast, or is there something fishy? But the fact of the matter is that, it's just not meant to be. Simply put, yeah, I guess I should wrap this up as quickly as possible, like wrap up the health part. Is that I went to see it. So I am getting blood tests next Wednesday, the 24th, right? Yeah, 24th. So the 24th, I have to go get some blood tests. And it's not going to be pretty, boy. So yeah, I got to go get blood tests. The testing center is not that far away from my house. It's about a half-hour walk. So I can manage to walk there and then just, you know, get myself ready and get myself able and, get the blood test done, get all that stuff. So obviously I have to fast for 12 hours, which won't be a problem because, I stop eating by like 7:30, 8 o'clock. So yeah, I just can't eat breakfast. I can drink water, which is fine. Like I love drinking water. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, I just, uh, I was trying to lose my train of thought here. I can practice as much as I can, but on live streams, I just falter. But simply put, I just got to test and see if there's like not celiac, but like, with my fibroid. My doctor said something about the fibroid and that it affects sleep and may affect my moods and all that. And I said, yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. And basically put, I said that, there are days which I'm constipated that I poo before going to work. And then that's basically the only time I take a dump, which kind of sucks. Like, you got to take a dump at least twice a day, I think. But I've always had the issues with like my bowels and all that. And I'm thinking maybe my bowels are my problem that's leading to this situation because, I'm not as regular as I used to be and I'm 38. So other than that, so yeah, I got to go get blood tests. And then just today, my doctor phoned me up and said, hey, you know what? We have a CT scan for you. There's a couple of CAT scans. I'm like, okay. And so I have to go to the local hospital and get a CAT scan. Two things come to mind. One, it's at 5:50 in the morning, and usually I'm up at that time just to wake up to set up to go to work. And two, it's on the 26th. So I have a blood test on Wednesday, work on Thursday, and then a CAT scan on Friday. Uh, because of the radiation and because of all that stuff, I think it's safe to say that I shouldn't be going to work. So I lose 2 days of work, which sucks, which I only get 3 out of 5, which I rarely do because usually it's 4 days a week. Well, 4 days a week in the winter or all 5 weekdays, like during busy season. So yeah, that's not really the best thing out there. But the fact of the matter is that, I've got to go get blood tests. I got to get CAT scan. I got to get stuff. I know something's wrong with me because I don't feel the same energetic person. And I know you could say, oh, you're just aging. Fair enough. But the fact is that, work is suffering too, which is unusual. But the fact of the matter is that, I just want to get my energy up and everything. So you can kind of see that, if you look at the walls and all that, you're like, that doesn't look any different. But if you look to my left, you see something looking like a TV. Well, you would be correct. It is a big screen TV. It's a 70-inch screen and all that. That my brother, my mom ended up getting for me. But, it's on the wall. It's all that. Like, I play my stuff on it, my TV and my PS5 on it and all that. So, yeah, that's what you want to see. That's what you're going to get. What you see is what you get. But the fact of the matter is that there might be a change coming up soon. Is that the setup for like live streams and like talking about videos and all that? The way it's going to probably be is that my brother wants the computer back. So sometime he's going to take my desktop computer because, well, it's old, but he's going to take my desktop computer. I have a laptop. My mom got me the laptop. And so I'll be using the stuff off the laptop. I just have to figure out how to record off the laptop and to do videos on my laptop, like using the camera. But I'm going to be keeping my webcam and my mouse and my keyboard, my wireless stuff. And then just have to figure out how to set up everything because my laptop is used for my PS5 in a sense to use my PS5 videos because, I would like to do some PS5 series and all that. And yes, my laptop does contain a lot of my PC stuff. I got lucky that for Stone Cold Hockey uh, kettlebell boxing and classic soccer that I could get a code with all my stuff and from the laptop, from the desktop to the laptop, so that I can play the stuff on my laptop. I still have to figure out the golf, but yeah, so that I don't have to rebuy everything. So that's great. Regardless of that, you know, yeah, I think my health is fine. All that mentally, yeah, it could be better. All that, just thinking about all this stuff. Okay, so I know what you were here for. You're here for the sports trivia, aren't you? Yep. All right. So I found this thing on Amazon called The Greatest Sports Trivia Book of All Time, over 800 trivia things. And then you could see the back of it. So, yes, I picked this up off Amazon. And they have 11 chapters on 11 different sports: basketball, baseball, football, hockey, college, Olympics, soccer, tennis, combat sports, golf, and a mixed bag. So what I did was I went through random.org and it landed on 2. So I'm going to be doing baseball questions for you. See here? And I have my trusted pen. So I'm going to read off the questions and then I'm going to write in the book what the answers are and all that. And then, of course, go back and check. So we got all that stuff. There are 50 questions. So I will do that. Yeah. So looking through this, actually, there's a game called, oh, here we go. Well, they have matched the major league team with their former stadium. Okay, so I'll do that. Okay, so here we go. So I'll show you the page without my markings, as you can see. All right, so let's see. Ballpark in Arlington is Texas. Turner Field, Atlanta. Memorial Stadium, Baltimore. Ebbets, Brooklyn. Comiskey, Chicago. Veterans, that's in Philadelphia. Three Rivers, that's in Pittsburgh. Busch, St. Louis, Busch Memorial. Candlestick, San Francisco. Kingdome in Seattle. Griffith is in Washington, and Shea Stadium is with the Mets. So, give you the crossings. So that's what I did. Hollywood at the Ballpark. Matched the movie with the baseball team. Okay, so for 61, all about the Yankees. That was about the home run chase between Mantle and Maris for Ruth's record in 1961. For Love of the Game, I think that was Detroit. I remember the synopsis saying a former Detroit Tigers pitcher like Kevin Costner. The rookie. Oh, Tampa. That's Jim Morris and his improbable story of being a 35-year-old teacher and he playing for the Tampa Bay Rays. Moneyball is Oakland because of how they used stats and all that to get themselves a 20-plus game winning streak in 2002, the A's, but they fell in the playoffs to Minnesota, I think it was. 42, that's all about the Dodgers, the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's when Jackie Robinson was trying to get into the major leagues and people were giving him the N-word. Major League, that's Cleveland, because that's when in fictitious this former showgirl is now the owner of the Cleveland Indians and decides to purposely tank the team so that they can move to Florida, but everyone rallies against her. The Natural, the New York Knights, not a real team, but whatever. Rookie of the Year, the Cubs. That was Thomas Ian Nicholas. It's when this guy, and he plays Henry Rodengartner, who was just a normal 11-year-old kid who was terrible in Little League. And then he had an arm injury, and he had to be in a cast. And then when the cast came off, he went like that at his doctor and broke his nose and found out that the tendons were too tight. So basically, he could throw a fastball. He could throw baseball pitches like 100 miles per hour and all that. It's a good movie. Trouble with the Curve? Well, it's either the White Sox or Atlanta. Well, it's Atlanta. It has to be Atlanta because Field of the Dreams is the White Sox. Because Field of the Dreams is all about, the Black Sox. Build it, they will come. All right, so, okay. There's another thing. True or false? Okay, so true or false? Ron Hunt is the only 20th century player to be hit by a pitch 50 times in a season. True. In the 20th century, true. That's the 1900 from 1901 to 2000. But yeah, true. Minnie Minoso's career spanned 5 decades. I think it was 6, wasn't it? False. False. It was 6 because he was I think he started in 1939. 5 decades. Yeah, it was 39. Then he was in the 40s, 50s, 60s, and then he was pinch hitting in the 76 and 80, and he was like old. So yeah, that's 6 decades. Walter Alston has the highest win percentage of any manager with at least 1,000 games. I think it's false. I don't think it's Alston. I think it's someone else. I think it's Joe McGinty. No, not McGinty. The guy for the Yankees, Joe McCarthy. The Phillies were once called the Perfectos. False. I think they were called something. I think someone else was the Perfectos. Oh, I should have given you the true or false. There we go. All right. So in the 1990s, the Dodgers had 5 Rookie of the Year awards. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, that's true. The 5 guys. Hollinsworth, Nomo, Piazza, Mondesi, and Carols were the 5. Jim Abbott played for 10 years in the Major League. Is it true he only had one hand? True. He was actually a Blue Jays draft pick at first, but he went to the University of Michigan, and then the Angels picked him up. Derek Jeter holds the record for most double plays by a shortstop. I think that's false. I think Aparicio has it. Alex Rodriguez holds the record for being hit by pitches the most in the modern game. A-Rod, false. I don't think that was A-Rod. Clayton Kershaw won the MVP and Cy Young in the same year. No, he didn't. Kershaw has not won an MVP. And then 70 is the average number of baseballs used in a big game. I think that's false. I think it's like 90-something. I think it's higher. Okay, so yeah. So we got that going. Okay. Oh, and they gave famous best of their number. Well, yeah. Yeah. Give you some tidbits like these players and numbers, random numbers. Yeah, Al Oliver, number 0. Yeah, Barry Larkin, Chipper Jones, Barry Bonds. Well, they're partially wrong about Barry Bonds because he didn't wear 25 as a Pirate. He wore 24 as a Pirate. And then because 24 was kind of retired for Willie Mays, he wore 25 with the Giants. And the weird thing about they say Jose Aubrey, it's actually Jose Abreu. It's Abreu. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll just not worry about the 50 questions and just go through each category maybe. Yeah. All right. So match the former team with their stadium. Okay. Well, I'll just. Okay. Just do that. All right. So this is just basically the ballpark and the movies. You can see. Hopefully you can. Sorry. It's not looking right. Yeah, this is the part. This is the part you want to look at here. And then answers, all that. So those are the answers and all that. I have to look at the true or false. So let's see here. Yeah, I think I have all the. Yeah. So yeah, I have Hollywood at the Ballpark. I got correctly. Major League teams. Obviously, I would get them all right because it's me. True or false? Let's see. True, true, false, false. True, true, false, false. 5 decades. So Minoso was the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. I thought it was 30s. Okay, so true, false. True, true, false, false. True, true, false, false. True, true. True, true. I don't recall Kershaw winning the MVP the one year. And they said true is 70 baseballs. So logically, I got 7 out of 10. Yeah, well. Okay, so. Okay, let's go back to. Let's go to random.org. 1 to 11 generate, it will be a 8. Okay, so gotta go to chapter 8. Tennis. Yikes. I hate tennis. So chapter 8 is tennis. So give you some tennis questions. Here are. Okay, well, they just give me 20 questions on tennis, and that's it. Okay, so show you the questions again. So those are the questions that I will answer, and then I will, of course, give you what I wrote down. Okay, so what are the 4 tennis Grand Slams? Australian, French, Wimbledon, and US Open. True or false? Players can wear any color clothing at Wimbledon. False. They have to wear white. What tennis player is famous for saying you can't be serious? You cannot be serious. McEnroe. Back at Wimbledon 1981. And he was right. You can't be serious. What male player has won the most singles Grand Slam titles? And this book came out in 2022. I don't remember if they think it's Djokovic. It could be Nadal. I don't think it's not Federer, but Djokovic or Nadal. I think it's Djokovic. All right. In which tennis tournament do players represent their country in a team-based playoff? The Davis Cup, which Canada actually won 2 years ago. Yeah, 2022, they won the Davis Cup. And it was shocking. Like Canada, with their young players like Auger Aliassime, Shapovalov, Milos Raonic, you know, and their doubles players, they were pretty good, and they actually shocked the world. What is an ace? When you score a point and an opponent can't return serve. Return serve. Yeah, this is hard. See right here. Okay, so that's the tennis one. All right. Next question. True or false? Before tennis players use rackets, people will use the palms of their hands to hit the ball back and forth during the net. True. There was palm tennis way back in the 1300s. Which 2 players are the famous doubles combo known as the Woodies? Woodrow and Woodbridge from Australia. Todd Woodbridge and Mark Woodrow. Ford. Those guys actually were Australian tennis players, and those guys actually almost won the gold medal at the Sydney Olympics in 2000 for men's tennis doubles. But they lost to Canada's Leroux and Nestor. It was one of the shocking moments. Daniel Nestor is a pretty good doubles player from Canada, but shockingly, Canada won a gold medal in tennis. What color were tennis balls before they were yellow? They were white. They moved to yellow because they would be easier to spot on TV. What is it called when it's 40-40? Deuce. I mean, what the deuce? Who were the first set of sisters to win Olympic gold medals in tennis? I think it was. I think it was Venus and Serena Williams. I was thinking the Dodds, Charlotte and Lottie Dodd, but this was before the Olympics started. So no. Which tennis player was at Roland Garros? French Open. Which player has won the most consecutive women's Grand Slam titles? Most consecutive. Grand Slam titles. A Graf? I'm going to say Steffi Graf because I know she actually won all 4 Grand Slams in 1988. And I think she won 1 or 2 afterwards. So, yeah, at least 1. Martina Hingis is from what country? Switzerland. So, Switzerland. Who defeated Bobby Riggs in the famous Battle of the Sexes? Billie Jean King. And that was a massive, spectacular thing because the story about Bobby Riggs was that he actually beat Margaret Smith Court on Mother's Day in a CBS tennis match. And then that was the call for Billie Jean King to get equality. And since she was like one of the top players in the world, she wanted to face Bobby Riggs, who was 55 and used to be a player, former good star himself. So Bobby Riggs actually took Billie Jean King up on her offer, and basically, poof, you saw that she won the match at the Houston Astrodome. It's like the Astrodome for tennis, ugh, it's cavernous. Okay, who did John McEnroe defeat in the final to win his first Wimbledon singles title? His longtime rival Bjorn Borg, and that was 1981. Although McEnroe and Borg played a great final in 1980, I think that was the first year NBC decided to do the men's final. Yeah, 1980 was that classic 18-16 tiebreak. But no, Borg won that in the 5th set, but McEnroe won the next year in 1981. In which year was tennis introduced as an Olympic sport? 1924. I think it was couple of times. And then it stopped until 1988 in Korea. What 6-time Grand Slam winner was jailed in the UK? Oh. Was jailed in the UK. 6-time Grand Slam was jailed in the UK. McEnroe? I think it was McEnroe. Couldn't be anyone else. What tennis player married Enrique Iglesias? I think it was Kournikova. Anna Kournikova? I don't know. Enrique Iglesias. And what tennis player from the U.S. was ranked in the year-end top 10 for 9 consecutive years? Male or female? Shoot. Probably male. I say McEnroe. Or Serena Williams if it's a woman. So just give you the thing right there. Oh, Clee Baseball fan. Hello. Sorry, I know I put slow mode on, but you can send a message every 30 seconds. It's just so that people don't spam the keyboard. Clee Baseball fan who has seen some of my live streams and talked about live streams when I did the hockey card polls and all that about Columbus Blue Jackets. So yeah, it's nice to see you. Should be Anna Kournikova for Iglesias. Well, we'll see. Let's see what the answers are. Chapter 8. Okay, so I'll show you the answers before I know. Okay, here we go. Tennis. All right, so, okay, I'll just leave my pen here. Hockey pucks. Okay, so, all right, so those are the answers. You'll see the answers before I see the answers. All right, so here we go. Tennis. So the 4 Grand Slams are Australia, US, French, and Wimbledon. Yep. True or false? Player can wear any clothing. False. They can only wear white. The famous You Can't Be Serious was McEnroe. Nadal was the Grand Slam singles title. It was Nadal. I knew it was one of the two. Davis Cup is that thing. Ace is a serve that successfully lands in the service box and does not touch the receiving player's racket. Hopefully you saw that, Clip Baseball fan, when I did the first 6 questions. So, yeah, I know. I hate that. I like this. So this is just basically what I wrote. Okay, number 7 was true or false. The hands, true. The players Woodbridge and Woodrow. Yep. Okay. Colored pearls were white. Deuces 40-40. The Williams sisters were the first Grand Slam set of sisters. French Open at Roland Garros. Serena was the one with the consecutive women's final, not Graf. So it was Serena. Okay. So it was Serena. Know that? Hingis from Switzerland. Billie Jean King was the golfer, was the player. Bjorn Borg was that one. Tennis international sport. 1896. So it was from the start. Okay. Fuck. Boris Becker was jailed in the UK. Oh, that's right. Boris Becker had some kind of tax thing in the UK, and he was jailed in the UK. That's right. Kornikova was the one for Iglesias, and it was Eddie Roddick. Oh, okay. I said Jimmy Connors. So that's 1 miss, 2 miss, 3 miss, 4 miss, 5 miss. So 15 out of 20. So 75% for tennis, which is not bad. Okay, so that's done. So I got 2 of the 11 done. 2 of the 11 chapters. Let's see here. Random.org. 5. Okay. So the number is 5. So chapter 5 is dun, 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 college sports. Beautiful. So college sports is the next one. That's the randomization. So that's randomized. Before I actually get into the trivia, I know you'll be like, what is the significance of this Toronto Blue Jays jersey, Jeff? I'll show you the back of it. Bautista 19. Now, there is a reason why I'm wearing this today. The fact of the matter is my boss at Canadian Tire, gave us red Canadian Tire sweaters and all that for Christmas and all that, which is fine. He actually, yes, Joey Bats, that is correct. And I think it was, 2 weeks ago, my boss called me into his office and said, hey, Jeff, I have something for you. And I'm like, okay, what? Is it a pink slip? No, I have something good for you. Don't worry about it. And then he presents me this Toronto Blue Jays Bautista jersey. And I'm like, what? And says, I got it for you, pal. And I'm like, wow. This is the first time a boss has gone up and about for my sports knowledge. He said he wanted it signed, but he couldn't find one signed. But I'm like, well, dude, I take anything. Like, I was shocked. I said, you didn't have to do this for me and all that. And I felt bad because, with my couple of months of slowing down, being a little sluggish, I felt bad. But the fact of the matter is that he stuck by me. And, it's going to be hanging in my closet to remind me, your boss got this for you. You owe it to your boss. Push hard, push hard, push hard. So I am pushing hard. Yeah, and yes, I did have to work today from 8 to 2:30. So anyway, let's go back to college sports. All right. Okay, I know they give me 40 questions. The college sport. Oh. They screwed up 6 to 2:30 for me. Yeah, I feel for you, Cleve baseball fan. I do. Okay. Oh, they actually did they're not questions, but the 10 highest attended college football games. So I'll show you what they put down, the 10 greatest attended games. Actually, hold on here. Yeah, so this is number 9 and 10. And they said that the major college rivalries, I guess they rank them. What I look at is Army-Navy. Yeah, Army-Navy is a good football one. Basketball, they say Duke, North Carolina. Oh, yeah, definitely Duke, North Carolina. Number 1's Washington College versus Salisbury University, Water on the Shore. I'm like, well, I don't know much about lacrosse. So, and they say Princeton Rutgers for lacrosse. I would probably put Princeton Rutgers for like football because, they're one of the oldest rivalries. Soccer, Indiana, Notre Dame. Yeah, I say so. Women's volleyball, they say Penn State versus Pitt. Well, Penn State, Pitt. Yeah, Lehigh Lafayette is the oldest rivalry. They don't But they don't do it, Cleve Baseball Fan, based on longevity. They just do it by what they say is the best. So I'll just show you that right there. Yeah, they just do it by that merit. Okay, so 40 college questions. Okay, so yep, I'll just show it to you. And then after each time filling out the page, I will show it to you. Okay. All right. So question 1: Who played in the famous game of the century, January 2nd, 1987, that had the largest TV college football audience? Well, I know it's Miami versus Penn State. For the national championship, both teams were independents at that time and could go to any bowl, and the Fiesta Bowl. No, it's under. No, Notre Dame LA was 1974 for college. This is 1987. 1987, they said, is Miami Penn State. Because both teams were independents, both can go to any state. College Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl did not have a major tie-in with any college at that time. So they decided to have that on NBC primetime, and Penn State with like 5 interceptions off of Vinny Testaverde. Okay, who made the most field goals in a single game of college football? Pass. I have no clue. Florida State baseball coach Mike Martin had how many wins? 900? Between 1996 and 1998, the LSU baseball team had how many consecutive games with a home run? 65, I think. Because I think 65 or something. I don't know. Cael Sanderson won how many wrestling matches at Iowa State? Intercept party. Yeah, and he did not really have much of a of a pro career. Vinny Testaverde. I know Tampa drafted him number 1, but he wasn't much for Tampa. They didn't do much with him. And, well, he made a renaissance with the Jets back in the late 90s and led them to the 98-99 AFC title game. People will say the 98 AFC title game, even though it was in 1999, and some say 99 like myself. But, yeah. That Browns playoff won in 94. Oh, that's right. He did. The first person you would think of is Kosar, but that's right. He was. But I thought it was Eric Sire. No, guess not. My fault. Okay, well, anyway, Cael Sanderson won how many matches at Iowa State? 130 or something? Okay, Mia Hamm, the name synopsis of women's football in the U.S., represented what college? UNC, known for its women's soccer. Well, women's football, women's soccer. What is Notre Dame's nickname? Oh, gee, you really think I don't know that? Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you the first page with all my answers. So, yeah. Mark Rippon. Mark Rippon played for that team. Wow. Because I know, yeah, so this is the college sports. But yeah, Cleve Baseball Fan. I know that Belichick, who was coaching Cleveland, cut Kosar, which was pathetic, saying that he had diminishing skills, and that was pathetic. And Kosar ended up being part of the Cowboys team that won the Super Bowl that year, if I remember right, which I should. But Mark Rippon, yeah, cool. But I know Mark Rippon because, Cleve Baseball Fan, Mark Rippon and me are both Canadian. Mark Rippon was born in Alberta, I think. Yeah, I think he was around Calgary. But yeah, Mark Rippon came from Canada, and people were shocked that a Canadian quarterback won a Super Bowl. And he did. Super Bowl 26 against the Bills. So anyway, I know, Cleve Baseball Fan, I don't think you follow me on Facebook, but I was 5-1 in my wild card picks. I was going to crash. Finishing skills. Oh, cool. So anyway, yeah, I went 5-1 in my wild card picks this week. I missed the Lions against the Rams because I thought Stafford was going to get the last laugh on the Lions for letting him go. But yeah, I mean, not to say the Lions didn't do well. The Lions did well, but it was only 1 point. Yeah, I picked the Bills because of the weather. I picked the Texans over Cleveland. I'm sorry, I picked Houston because I'm like, Cleveland, Joe Flacco. I don't know. Houston. Yeah, Cleveland Baseball went 3-3. Yeah, one of those losses must have been the Browns. Kansas City, I knew we were going to beat Miami because Miami is not used to the very, very bitter cold. I picked Tampa to beat Philly because Philly was having some troubles. They started 10-1 and then they were faltering. And I'm like, well, I got to go with the hot hand. I got to go with Tampa. I was right. I picked Green Bay over Dallas because I'm like, Green Bay sometimes will beat Dallas. I think Green Bay will beat Dallas. In Dallas, they have done that before. That was 2017. And like, I was shocked at the blowout. And of course, I picked the Rams to beat the Lions, and I was wrong. But yeah, Dallas, Browns, and Rams. Yeah, you're like me. You picked the Rams. Pick Dallas. I don't blame you. Okay, so anyway, I give you the college sports. Okay, so who's the only two-time winner of the Heisman Trophy winner? Archie Griffin. It's kind of strange how, there's only one two-time winner of the Heisman Trophy, and yet, like, Tim Tebow didn't do it twice. All that. You see all this college stuff. I don't know how Griffin was eligible to win the second time after the first. I thought you win the Heisman as an underclassman and you come back, you can't win it. I guess so. What sport first introduced the naming of an All-American team? Well, I guess football. Who is in the College Football Hall of Fame and won an Oscar? John Wayne? Oh, shit. John Wayne didn't win. Well, too little, too late. Harvard and Yale competed in the first ever college event in 1852. What was the event? I think it was rowing. I think it was a boat race. Which U.S. college sport gives the Hobey Baker Award to the best player? Hockey. Hockey. What is the second most popular sport in college after basketball? Football? Gotta be because of all the TV rights. Who played in the first Orange Bowl in 1935? Fuck. I can only think of one team. Miami versus, I don't know. What college has the most national football championships? I think it's Notre Dame. I think that Notre Dame still has the record. And Alabama's close, but Bama did not get that mark. Otto the Orange is what school's university? Syracuse. When was the NCAA established? 1896, I think. I don't know. Who famously coached Team USA to the Miracle on Ice at the 1980 Winter Olympics, and what college did he attend? Oh, that's Herb Brooks, and that was Minnesota, the University of Minnesota, where he put many of his Golden Gophers on that team. Because in 1980, they still prided themselves on amateurs and all that. So the U.S. college team was full of amateurs and all that. Okay. What sport is March Madness associated with? Basketball. 64 teams. Well, I say 64 teams. Technically, it's like 68 teams. Go for broke and all that. Arkansas had back-to-back Elite Eight appearances. So, yeah, at one time. What charter member of the ACC won the first ACC title in 1954? I think it's a trick question. It's Wake Forest, I think. I would have said North Carolina, but no. What USC standard was the first woman to win 4 consecutive Final Four MVP honors? Cheryl Miller. I actually did a video on her. What was it, last week or the week before? Okay, so I'll show you what I wrote down. That's just the questions, what I wrote down. What famous author was a classmate of Hobey Baker? And what college did they attend? Well, I believe it was Princeton. What famous author? F. Scott Fitzgerald? I said author. And I went to Princeton. The Bake House is what the stadium for which college football team? Michigan. Well, NCAA champions for the first time since 1997, although that was actually a shared championship in 97 with Nebraska. And Michigan kind of won it controversially because the Rose Bowl against Washington State controversially because they didn't allow Ryan Leaf to have a final play with 2 seconds left, which could have set up a field goal for the win. But yeah, Nebraska shared with Michigan. Howard's Rock plays a role in the tradition for what university? Clemson. In a baseball game for Florida State, Marshall McDougal had how many RBIs? 11, maybe? What college baseball team holds the longest streak of not being shut out? Well, how long is the streak? I think it's Texas and maybe 250 games. After Tim Tebow famously wrote John 3:16 on his eye blacks in 2009, how many people Googled the Bible verse? 10 million. I'll go 10 million. Which NBA number 1 draft pick had their shoe explode while playing for Duke against North Carolina? Number 1 pick for Duke. Oh, let me see. Who was the number 1 pick for Duke? Christian Laettner? I think Christian Laettner. I don't know. Who led the Clemson Tigers to a national championship against Bama after throwing for 420 yards, 3 touchdowns, including the game-winning score to Hunter Renfrow, with 1 second left on the clock? Well, that's easy. That's Deshaun Watson. Famous game. I think that was 2017 when he did that with 1 second left. Famous actress Emma Watson played what sport while she studied at Brown? Played which sport? Tennis, I think. Zion Williams. Well, Cleve said Zion Williams and number 1 draft pick. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I don't think it was Laettner. Anyway, the award-winning movie Rudy was what college? Oh, come on. Notre Dame. Okay, which U.S. president formed the IAAUS, now known as the NCAA, to create rules for incontrovertible sports? I think it was Roosevelt. I think it was Teddy Roosevelt, which means that my 1896 answer is obviously wrong. So I'll just show you what I wrote down. Okay. Who was the first halfback from the SEC to ever win the Heisman Trophy? 1942. 1942. Let's see. Oh, was it Trippy? I don't know. Charlie Trippy, I think it is my answer. What university did Frank Sinkwich attend? Sinkwich. Auburn? That name sounds familiar. How many shutouts did Tennessee pitcher Monica Abbott achieve in her college career? 40? For softball, I guess. Which famous college athlete once ran for 1,000 yards as a senior in 8 games and led the nation for goals in lacrosse with Syracuse? Jim Brown. The recently deceased Jim Brown. Yep. He could have been a very good lacrosse player. Like, I know he's in the college. Is he in the Professional Lacrosse Hall of Fame? If there is one in the United States? I don't know. I know he's in the Collegiate Lacrosse Hall of Fame and College Football Hall of Fame. Because, yeah, Jim Brown was a 2-sport dynamo. I remember that. Which U.S. Olympic sprinter never lost a dual meet for the University of Cal in 2001-2003? Nuts. Hayden? I don't know. Which Iowa State wrestling star is 118-1? Oh, is that Cale Sanderson? Because it's not Dan Gable because he was Iowa, not Iowa State. The airgate move in lacrosse was made famous by which athlete? The airgate. Jim Brown? And who was named Women's College Player of the Century? I know it wasn't Cheryl Miller because I would have Lieberman? Nancy Lieberman? Okay, so get that going right there. Okay. So let's see. College. Let's see how many I got wrong. Okay. Chapter 5. Okay. Let's see here. College sports. Okay. So show you because it'll show you the. Yeah, it'll show you the answers before I get to know the answers. All right. So question 1. It was Miami versus Penn State in 1987. Yep. Number 2, I don't know the answer. Mike Prindo, 7 field goals for Western Michigan. Okay. Number 3, for baseball, Mike Martin, 2,029 wins. 2,029 wins. Wow. Give him less credit. Number 4, baseball. It was 77 games for baseball for LSU. 77. Chelsea Anderson won 159 wrestling matches, all consecutively. Mia Hamm played for North Carolina. That's right. So 2 out of 6 on that page. Page 7, the nickname was the Fighting Irish. 2-time Heisman winner was Archie Griffin. I knew that. Football, 1889. All-American team. Number 10 is Irvine Warburton, who was an editor for Mary Poppins in 1964. Oh, okay. Harvard and Yale. It was a boat race, rowing, correct. Which U.S. college sport gave the Hobie Baker Award for the best player? Hockey. Second most popular sport is cross country. The Orange Bowl was Miami and Manhattan University. I got half right, but I didn't get that second part right. Most national titles, Yale with 18 back in 19. Yale 18. Their last was 1927. Yeah, I guess I didn't count the 1900s. Otto the Orange is for Syracuse. The NCAA was established in 1906, not 1896. The coach was Herbert Brooks Jr. or Herb Brooks for Minnesota. March Madness is basketball. The charter member was NC State. I would have been half right, but no, NC State. The thing was Cheryl Miller. Oh, wow. F. Scott Fitzgerald. I was right. The classmate of Hobie Baker was F. Scott Fitzgerald. Nice. The Big House is Michigan. Clemson is Howard's Rock. Baseball was 16 RBIs by Marshall McDougall. I said 11. Baseball, Arizona State, 506 games. Wow. Tim Tebow, 10 million. 94 million did the YouTube. The Zion Williamson was that guy, Clue Baseball Van got it right. Deshaun Watson was the quarterback for Clemson. Emma Watson played field hockey. Okay. For Brown. Rudy was part of Notre Dame. President Roosevelt, 1906. Okay. The guy was Frank Sinkwich. Okay. And he played for Georgia. So that's funny how Frank Sinkwich was the answer to the question 33, and then they said, where did he attend? 34. Okay. Weird. 35 is 112 shoutouts by Monica Albert. Wow. 36 was Jim Brown, Hall of Famer in football and lacrosse. 37 was Natalie Coughlin. The Iowa State wrestling star was Dan Gable. That's wrong. Dan Gable went to Iowa, did he not? I swear Dan Gable was Iowa. If it was Iowa, I would have said Dan Gable. I swear Dan Gable went to Iowa. The Air Gate is Gary Gate from Syracuse. And the Naismith Player of the Century was Shamik Holtzclaw. They gave it to someone from the 90s. That is kind of weird. Okay, so how many did I screw up on? Okay, let's see here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Darn it. 18 out of 40. Wow. Dismal. 18 out of 40. Okay, so 54 minutes. Let me see. Let me see here. There's got to be another sport. What's mixed? Like, chapter 11 is mixed. Well, how many questions are in mixed? Oh, mixed. Also, mixed has rugby, motorsports, and cricket, cycling. I think we'll finish with racing. Yeah, we'll do motorsports last. Sorry for that. I gotta get rid of random.org. Get rid of it. There we go. Okay, so I'll just finish off with some auto racing trivia. 15 questions. All right, here we go. Who won the first Indy 500? 1909. Oh, Hanrahan? I don't know. What does the yellow flag mean in motorsports? Caution! At which track did Dale Earnhardt Jr. make his first Winston Cup appearance? Daytona? I'm going to just say Daytona. In which state did Greg Moore die in 1999 in that race? A kart race. California. It was at Long Beach, was it? Or Sonoma? I think it was Sonoma. Grand Prix Sonoma, I think it was when he died. No, it was Long Beach, wasn't it? Where Greg Moore died in 1999 in a kart race. I think it was Long Beach, wasn't it? Anyway, which Formula One racing team has the nickname the Prancing Horse? Ferrari. Pratt. Which Icelandic F1 world champion has the name the Iceman? Icelandic. I don't remember an F1 world champion being Icelandic. Icelandic. Hamilton? There's got to be some kind of thing. Icelandic. I don't remember an Icelandic world champion. Who is the youngest driver to win an F1 race? I think it was Verstappen. Max Verstappen. I think it was Verstappen. Which F1 team holds the record for most wins in a season? Ferrari. Ferrari, I think, did. How many F1 titles did Michael Schumacher win? 7. And that's now been surpassed by Lewis Hamilton. Which Formula One driver has the longest streak of victories? Well, this is 2022. I know Verstappen's got the streak. It's Schumi. It's got to be Schumi. What's the highest official speed in MotoGP? 300 kilometers per hour? In what year was the first annual MotoGP competition held? 1911? What year did Mick Doohan's career end? 2014? I don't know. What country is Valentino Rossi from? Italia. True or false? An average MotoGP bike is worth more than $1 million. True. It's got to be. Okay, so just give you the list and give you from motorsport. Okay, so motorsports. Okay, motorsports. Ray Harroun, 1911. So Ray Harroun was the first ever winner. Caution. Charlotte was where Dale Earnhardt Jr. made his debut. California was the state. I figured it. Prancing Horse is Ferrari. The F1 champion was Kimi Räikkönen. They think that Kimi Räikkönen's from Iceland. No, Kimi Räikkönen's from Finland. The youngest driver was Max Verstappen at 18. So yeah, Verstappen was the youngest before his 2023 Magic season. F1 teams was the season. Mercedes 2016, 19 out of 21. Wow, Mercedes was 19 in 2016. Whew. The title 7, longest streak of victories. Well, it's controversy because Verstappen, I think, has that mark now. Sebastian Vettel had 9. So Vettel, okay. Highest speed was 217 miles per hour. I don't think that's the same in kilometers per hour. I don't know. I think I'm wrong. MotoGP was 1949. Okay, so it wasn't that much. Doohan's career ended in 1999. Valentino Rossi is from Italia. And yes, a MotoGP bike is worth $1 million. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bikes. So that's under 50%, which is not good. So yeah, so the chapters and all of that. So I did base. So I went through baseball. I went through college sports. I went through tennis. And I'll just say mixed category I went through. So I went through 4 of these 11 chapters. So yeah, so that's just the 4 chapters I've gone through. Like I know I could have gone through football or basketball or hockey or the Olympics or soccer and all that, but that's what random.org does for me. So yeah, so an hour of fun and frivolity, and now you know about my health. Now you know about why I have a Jose Batista jersey, and now you know that I know some stuff about sports, but not everything. But I pride myself in trying to do my best. So yeah, so an hour of fun. I'd like to thank Clay Baseball Fan for his support of this stream and the other streams he has been supportive of. Much appreciated. And to all of you who are watching this, not live, but maybe just want to see what the heck's going on. So anyway, that's all I've got. I'm Jeff Diamond. Thanks for watching. Adieu. Yeah, that's the button.